So what are the hallmarks of a healthy, safer culture? Now we've got 8 to discuss with you, but you might want to in your own communities discuss this further. You might want to add, and it's right and proper that you do that. And this is really a conversation starter to get you thinking. So at the root of any healthy, safe culture is safeguarding as foundational. So it really is important. All the work that we do around safeguarding really matters in keeping those in our communities safe. But we also want to think about safeguarding in its broadest terms, so that this is creating a safe space in which people can grow and flourish. So that's at the very bedrock of our healthy culture. You want to put that into your soil so your plants can grow. And then a healthy culture is one in which we respect, value and nurture people. This is so important. We know when we're respected, we know when we're valued, and we experience being nurtured. And equally, we know when we're not. So we want to ask ourselves some questions about whether people feel respected in our communities, whether they feel valued, whatever they have to bring or not, and whether they feel nurtured. So that's your second hallmark that you might want to think about. In a healthy Christian culture, we guide and empower through biblical teaching. So sometimes people say this work around healthy cultures might take away a focus on preaching and teaching, but that's actually not true. A healthy culture, a healthy Christian culture, is one in which we do teach and we do guide people, but we also accept that they have autonomy and a choice to make in how they respond to that teaching. Another hallmark that's really important is that leaders are nurtured and nurturing. In some of the research that we've done, we've heard a lot from leaders who have experienced burnout or not being treated well. And actually sometimes we ask our leaders to be all things to all people, and nobody can be that. So we need to make sure that we're supporting our leaders at all levels in our cultures, not just those that might be ordained, but think about all the different leaders you have. How are you supporting the person who runs your Sunday work, the person who runs something that happens in the week? How are you supporting and nurturing and caring for them so that they can lead to the best of their ability? And when we're leading, the responsibility on us is that we nurture those that we are leading. So we respect them and we value them as we're nurturing them and enabling them and helping them and supporting them to grow. Hallmark number 5 is valuing whole life service. If you want to know what you value in your culture, think about what you pray for, think about what you talk about, what's talked about from the front of your main meetings. There's lots of really great work from the London Institute of Contemporary Christianity on this. But often we value what happens within our church communities, the opportunities and the activities that happen there, rather than the work that people are doing outside of our communities. So how do we create communities in which we value and celebrate whole of life service so that everybody feels the contributions they're making, whether they're within or without, all matter and all are recognised? A healthy culture also has a hallmark of healthy accountability. Accountability is a really important thing. Enforced accountability is not a good thing, but healthy accountability, where we can recognise that we can't get it right all the time, we can work together in teams, we can hold ourselves to account, is a really healthy hallmark, because it means when things are going wrong, they can be addressed at an early stage. It means that there's much more opportunity to support people as well as to identify harm. So what about your accountability structures? Are they healthy? Are they helpful? And then, do you model inclusion? That's our 7th hallmark, that a healthy culture models inclusion. Just like knowing that you're valued and respected, you know when you're included. We will all have had moments in our life, possibly when you're at school and they're picking teams and you don't get picked and you don't feel included. We will always have had those times where we don't feel included. We know when we are. So it's really good for us to reflect in our cultures about how included people feel, but it's also good to sensitively find out how people actually feel, because you might think they feel included, but they might actually not. So that's a really good thing for us to think about. And finally, a healthy Christian culture is one which guides behaviour but respects choice. So we're back to thinking about autonomy and guiding through our teaching, through the work that we do, but also accepting the individual decisions that people make. So now you've got some time to reflect. You might not agree with all those hallmarks, that's fine. You might have additional ones that you want to add in your own communities, but you've got some questions to help you think through what this means for you as a community.